Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
A facility consisting of the means and equipment necessary for the movement of passengers or goods. Make a passage or journey from one place to another. A journey usually by ship. A surveying instrument for measuring horizontal and vertical angles, consisting of a small telescope mounted on a tripod. Cause or enable to pass through. The canal will transit hundreds of ships every day. Pass across, a sign or house of the zodiac, or pass across, the disk of a celestial body or the meridian of a place. The comet will transit on September 11th. Revolve, the telescope of a surveying transit, about its horizontal transverse axis in order to reverse its direction. The act of expelling a person from their native land. The sentence was one of transportation for life. The act of moving something from one location to another. The sum charged for riding in a public conveyance. A facility consisting of the means and equipment necessary for the movement of passengers or goods. The commercial enterprise of moving goods and materials. The United States federal department that institutes and coordinates national transportation programs, created in 1966. A facility consisting of the means and equipment necessary for the movement of passengers or goods. Make a passage or journey from one place to another. Make a passage or journey from one place to another. Rub with a circular motion. Travel across or pass over. Bypass. Make a passage or journey from one place to another. Fly over. Make a passage or journey from one place to another. Some travelers pass through the desert. Pass through an enemy line, in a military conflict. Cause to move through. The passing of a law by a legislative body. A bodily reaction of changing from one place or stage to another. The passage of air from the lungs. The act of passing from one state or place to the next. A journey usually by ship. The outward passage took 10 days. A short section of a musical composition. The motion of one object relative to another. A path or channel or duct through or along which something may pass. The nasal passages. The act of passing something to another person. A section of text, particularly a section of medium length. A way through or along which someone or something may pass. A surveying instrument for measuring horizontal and vertical angles, consisting of a small telescope mounted on a tripod. A building or place that provides a particular service or is used for a particular industry. The assembly plant is an enormous facility. A natural effortlessness. They conversed with great facility. Skillful performance or ability without difficulty. He was famous for his facility as an archer. A service that an organization or a piece of equipment offers you. A cell phone with internet facility. Something designed and created to serve a particular function and to afford a particular convenience or service. The act of installing something, as equipment. The telephone installation took only a few minutes. A building or place that provides a particular service or is used for a particular industry. A formal entry into an organization or position or office. He gave a speech as part of his installation into the Hall of Fame. Move past. A black limousine passed by when she looked out the window. Eliminate from the body. Grant authorization or clearance for. A usually brief attempt. Success in satisfying a test or requirement. His future depended on his passing that test. Come to pass. Of advancing the ball by throwing it. A team with a good passing attack. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. A document indicating permission to do something without restrictions. The media representatives had special passes. Cause to pass. She passed around the plates. Be superior or better than some standard. Transmit information. Pass along the good news. Go unchallenged. Be approved. Pass over, across, or through. Place into the hands or custody of. Sports. The act of throwing the ball to another member of your team. The pass was fumbled. Pass into a specified state or condition. Make laws, bills, etc. or bring into effect by legislation. They passed the amendment. A difficult juncture. A pretty pass. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. A permit to enter or leave a military installation. He had to show his pass in order to get out. Pass by. A bad or difficult situation or state of affairs. Travel past. The sports car passed all the trucks. Disappear gradually. The pain eventually passed off. American football. A play that involves one player throwing the ball to a teammate. The coach sent in a passing play on 3rd and long. Baseball. An advance to first base by a batter who receives 4 balls. The location in a range of mountains of a geological formation that is lower than the surrounding peaks. We got through the pass before it started to snow. An automatic advance to the next round in a tournament without playing an opponent. Go successfully through a test or a selection process. She passed the New Jersey bar exam and can practice law now. Be inherited by. Use up a period of time in a specific way. Any authorization to pass or go somewhere. The pass to visit had a strict time limit. Accept or judge as acceptable. The teacher passed the student although he was weak. A complimentary ticket. The star got passes for his family. A flight or run by an aircraft over a target. The plane turned to make a second pass. Allow to go without comment or censure. The insult passed as if unnoticed. Go across or through. We passed the point where the police car had parked. Military, a written leave of absence. He had a pass for 3 days. One complete cycle of operations, as by a computer. It was not possible to complete the computation in a single pass. Throw, a ball, to another player. Smith passed. Transfer to another, of rights or property. Our house passed under his official control. The act of traveling from one place to another. Travel upon or across. Undertake a journey or trip. The act of traveling from one place to another. An instrument used by surveyors. An instrument used by surveyors. Bestow a quality on. She brings a special atmosphere to our meetings. Cause to happen or to occur as a consequence. Bring comments. Be sold for a certain price. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. This brings me to the main point. Bring into a different state. Go or come after and bring or take back. Could you bring the wine? Advance or set forth in court. Bring charges. Attract the attention of. Be accompanied by. Can I bring my cousin to the dinner? Cause to come into a particular state or condition. Bring water to the boiling point. Induce or persuade. Transmit or serve as the medium for transmission. Serve as a means for expressing something. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Go or come after and bring or take back. Transfer to another. Of information, make known, pass on. She conveyed the message to me. Transmit a title or property. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Be capable of holding or containing. This box won't take all the items. Remove something concrete, as by lifting, pushing, or taking off, or remove something abstract. Take the gun from your pocket. Serve oneself to, or consume regularly. I don't take sugar in my coffee. Make a film or photograph of something. Take a scene. Be designed to hold or take. This surface will not take the dye. Require, time or space. Take somebody somewhere. Can you take me to the main entrance? Have sex with. Archaic use. He had taken this woman when she was most vulnerable. Have with oneself. Have on one's person. She always takes an umbrella. Receive or obtain regularly. We take the Times every day. Admit into a group or community. Head into a specified direction. Pick out, select, or choose from a number of alternatives. Take into consideration for exemplifying purposes. Assume, as of positions or roles. Interpret something in a certain way. Convey a particular meaning or impression. How should I take this message? Lay claim to, as of an idea. Accept or undergo, often unwillingly. Make use of or accept for some purpose. Take a risk. Take something or somebody with oneself somewhere. Engage for service under a term of contract. Shall we take a guide in Rome? Be stricken by an illness, fall victim to an illness. take on a certain form, attribute, or aspect. Take as an undesirable consequence of some event or state of affairs. Get into one's hands, take physically. Can you take this bag, please? Require is useful, just, or proper. It takes nerve to do what she did. Occupy or take on. Receive willingly something given or offered. Be a student of a certain subject. Proceed along in a vehicle. Point or cause to go, blows, weapons, or objects such as photographic equipment, towards. Ascertain or determine by measuring, computing or take a reading from a dial. Take a pulse. Be seized or affected in a specified way. Take sick. Buy, select. I'll take a pound of that sausage. Carry out. Take action. Experience or feel or submit to. Obtain by winning. Winner takes all. Take by force. Take into one's possession. I'll take 3 salmon steaks. The act of photographing a scene or part of a scene without interruption. Travel or go by means of a certain kind of transportation, or a certain route. He takes the bus to work. Cause to move by turning over or in a circular manner of as if on an axis. Turn on or around an axis or a center. The Earth revolves around the Sun. Move in an orbit. A list of names. His name was struck off the rolls. Move along on or as if on wheels or a wheeled vehicle. The president's convoy rolled past the crowds. Cause to move by turning over or in a circular manner of as if on an axis. She rolled the ball. Move by turning over or rotating. The child rolled down the hill. A deep prolonged sound, as of thunder or large bells. Small rounded bread, either plain or sweet. Show certain properties when being rolled. The carpet rolls unevenly. A roll of currency notes, often taken as the resources of a person or business, etc. He shot his roll on a bob-tailed nag. A long heavy sea wave as it advances towards the shore. Flatten or spread with a roller. Roll out the paper. The sound of a drum, especially a snare drum, beaten rapidly and continuously. Arrange or coil around. Roll your hair around your finger. The act of throwing dice. Move about aimlessly or without any destination, often in search of food or employment. They rolled from town to town. Sell something to or obtain something from by energetic and especially underhanded activity. Boil vigorously. The water rolled. A round shape formed by a series of concentric circles, as formed by leaves or flower petals. The act of rolling something, as the ball in bowling. Move in a wavy pattern or with a rising and falling motion. The waves rolled towards the beach. A document that can be rolled up, as for storage. Rotary motion of an object around its own axis. Occur in soft rounded shapes. The hills rolled past. A flight maneuver. aircraft rotates about its longitudinal axis without changing direction or losing altitude. Anything rolled up in cylindrical form. Begin operating or running. The cameras were rolling. Emit, produce, or utter with a deep prolonged reverberating sound. The thunder rolled. Execute a roll, in tumbling. The gymnasts rolled and jumped. Move, rock, or sway from side to side. The ship rolled on the heavy seas. Photographic film rolled up inside a container to protect it from light. Pronounce with a roll, of the phoneme, R. She rolls her R's. Shape by rolling. Roll a cigarette. Take the shape of a roll or cylinder. The carpet rolled out. Walking with a swaying gait. A transportation system in which cars, telfers, are suspended from cables and operated on electricity. A transportation system consisting of roads for motor transport. A transportation system for moving passengers or goods by air. A public transportation system for moving passengers. A transportation system that operates over relatively short distances. A transportation system in which cars, telfers, are suspended from cables and operated on electricity. The omission that is made when an editorial change shortens a written passage. Weed out unwanted or unnecessary things. We had to lose weight, so we cut the sugar from our diet. Cut down on. Make a reduction in. The employer wants to cut back health benefits. The act of penetrating or opening open with a sharp edge. His cut in the lining revealed the hidden jewels. Made neat and tidy by trimming. In baseball, a batter's attempt to hit a pitched ball. He took a vicious cut at the ball. Used of rates or prices, reduced usually sharply. Lessen the strength or flavor of a solution or mixture. Cut bourbon. Cut and assemble the components of. Cut recording tape. Used of grass or vegetation, cut down with a hand implement or machine. Reduce in scope while retaining essential elements. The act of cutting something into parts. His cuts were skillful. Refuse to acknowledge. She cut him dead at the meeting. Turn sharply. Change direction abruptly. The car cut to the left at the intersection. Be able to manage or manage successfully. She could not cut the long days in the office. Mixed with water. Sold cut whiskey. A refusal to recognize someone you know. The act of shortening something by chopping off the ends. The barber gave him a good cut. Sports. A stroke that puts reverse spin on the ball. Cuts do not bother a good tennis player. Style and tailor in a certain fashion. Cut a dress. With parts removed. The drastically cut film. A wound made by cutting. He put a bandage over the cut. Create by duplicating data. Cut a disk. Cease, stop. Cut the noise. Cut off the testicles, of male animals such as horses. A piece of meat that has been cut from an animal carcass. Make out an issue. Cut a ticket. A trench resembling a furrow that was made by erosion or excavation. A remark capable of wounding mentally. The unkindest cut of all. Intentionally fail to attend. Cut class. A distinct selection of music from a recording or a compact disc. He played the first cut on the CD. The division of a deck of cards before dealing. He insisted that we give him the last cut before every deal. Of a male animal, having the testicles removed. A cut horse. Cuz to stop operating by disengaging a switch. Cut the engine. A canal made by erosion or excavation. Allow incision or separation. This bread cuts easily. An unexcused absence from class. He was punished for taking too many cuts in his math class. A share of the profits. Everyone got a cut of the earnings. A step on some scale. He is a cut above the rest. Discharge from a group. The coach cut 2 players from the team. Dissolve by breaking down the fat of. Soap cuts grease. Divide a deck of cards at random into 2 parts to make selection difficult. Wayne cut. Fashioned or shaped by cutting. A well-cut suit. Fell by sawing, hew. The Vietnamese cut a lot of timber while they occupied Cambodia. Film. An immediate transition from one shot to the next. The cut from the accident scene to the hospital seemed too abrupt. Form by probing, penetrating, or digging. Cut a hole. Form or shape by cutting or incising. Cut paper dolls. Function as a cutting instrument. This knife cuts well. Give the appearance or impression of. Cut a nice figure. Grow through the gums. The new tooth is cutting. Have a reducing effect. This cuts into my earnings. Have grow through the gums. The baby cut a tooth. Hit a ball with a spin so that it turns in the opposite direction. Cut a ping-pong ball. Make an abrupt change of image or sound. Cut from one scene to another. Make an incision or separation. Cut along the dotted line. Make a recording of. Cut the songs. Move one's fist. His opponent cut upward toward his chin. Pass directly and often in haste. We cut through the neighbor's yard to get home sooner. Pass through or across. The boat cut the water. Penetrate injuriously. The glass from the shattered windshield cut into her forehead. Perform or carry out. Cut a caper. Reap or harvest. Cut grain. Record a performance on a medium. Cut a record. Separated into parts or laid open or penetrated with a sharp edge or instrument. The cut surface was modeled. Separate with or as if with an instrument. Shorten as if by severing the edges or ends of. Cut my hair. Stop filming. Cut a movie scene. The act of reducing the amount or number. The mayor proposed extensive cuts in the city budget. The style in which a garment is cut. A dress of traditional cut. Of pages of a book, having the folds of the leaves trimmed or slit. The cut pages of the book. A fee charged for passage through a lock in a canal or waterway. A system of locks in a canal or waterway. Passage through a lock in a canal or waterway. A theodolite designed for rapid measurements. A theodolite designed for rapid measurements.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.